Hello, hello, Team Booty Surge. How is everyone today? My name is Desiree Hoye. I am a director on Team Beauty Surge. And forgive me, I'm trying my hardest to look at the camera, but landscape mode always gets me. So when you pop on, say hello, be sure to invite your teams, share with your teams, share with your groups. We are going to be talking about something that I personally love, and I think it is such a blessing that Limelight has given us the ability to do this, and it is called strategic placement. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Brooke. Hello, Samantha. Hi, ladies. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello, Kat. So I'm going to try to keep... I know, I'm still like looking over at the comments too. It's so hard. Okay, so I'm gonna try my hardest to look over here the whole time. I apologize if I'm throwing you guys off. So let's talk about strategic placement. What is strategic placement? Why would you want to utilize strategic placement? And making sure that when you do utilize strategic placement or the opportunity is presented to you by your leader, that you know that it is a huge blessing that Limelight has given us to be able to offer this. It's a huge part of our compensation plan. Honestly, there are so many people on our team on Limelight Corporate that would not be where they are today without strategic placement, myself included. So let's start with the basics. What on earth is strategic placement and what does it even mean? If you are new to Limelight, you're probably asking yourself, I don't even know what this girl is talking about. What is strategic placement? So strategic placement is the ability, once you hit a certain rank with Limelight, that happens to be Star Beauty Guide. So if you don't know what the requirements are for Star Beauty Guide, I'll kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown there. Jacob actually did a fantastic video that like literally goes super far in depth with strategic placement, but I want to talk to you guys about how to have that conversation with your new recruits, how to have that conversation with the person that you are thinking about placing that new recruit with, and just making sure that it's comfortable for everybody and it's in the best interest of everybody, okay? Hello, Erin. Hello, Kylie. Hello, Morgan. Hello. Okay, so Star Beauty Guide. To be a Star Beauty Guide, you have to have 3 active people on your front line. So directly below you have to have 3 active legs. One of those legs has to be a lead beauty guide, meaning that they have 2 people underneath of them that are both active, $2,500 in volume, and for Star Beauty Guide you have to have $5,000 in volume. So all of that combined, you hit Star Beauty Guide the month after you hit Star Beauty Guide. So if you hit Star Beauty Guide March 1st, I mean, which is going to be impossible, but whatever, that following month you're going to be able to utilize this. And what it is once you reach Start Beauty Guide, when you have new recruits join your team, within the first 30 days of them being on your team, you have the ability to place them somewhere on your team if you so choose to, if you see the fit for it, okay? So let's talk about some reasons as to why you would even want to utilize strategic placement, right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of my backstory, because you hear good stories about strategic placement. You also sometimes hear bad stories about strategic placement. It all depends on how it's done and if it's done right. So literally the day that I signed up with Limelight by Alcone, my enroller, I have to think of the names that I have to call them, enroller, sponsor, whatever. My enroller, Baruch Banks, placed me day 1, right? Placed me. What I loved about that and why I was so incredibly excited to be placed is the way that she set it up to me, okay? She told me before I was gonna sign up, she's like, girl, I just know that you're gonna be a rock star, okay? I know that you're gonna be a rock star. I know you're gonna do really well. I have a plan for you. I have a growing leg. I would love to place you on that leg. It's gonna kickstart your business. It's gonna help. And like, I was like super excited, because when I decided to make the decision to move from one company to this company, I was like very stagnant in my other company. And so I'm thinking like, God, I want to get off on like a really good start. And I was super excited. So that is why it is so important to set that in the very, very beginning, because honestly, you can scare people away by talking about strategic placement in their first 30 days, or you can get them extremely, extremely excited. So a couple reasons that you might want to strategically place somebody once you get to Star Beauty Guide. Yes, Jess, strategic placement is an absolute blessing. Absolute blessing. Oh, Brooke, you're so sweet. I love you. Okay, so in all honesty, you guys, there's a lot of different reasons why you might want to strategically place. But a huge reason, right, is we all, for the most part, have the same end game, right? We all want to get to the top of that company. We want to hit the top of the compensation plan. We want to have a great team. We want to build amazing leaders. So there's a lot of different reasons, but one big reason is you're looking to promote, right? So you're sitting there at Star Beauty Guide and you're like, gosh, I really need to hit director. So like, what do I need to hit to director? Okay, so I need a star and I need a lead. But I am recruiting, right? Like, I'm going to tell you right now, my team, so we have, I think, 39 girls, and I have personally recruited about 90% of those people. If I had not had the ability to strategically place them, I would have a front line of like 27 people, and I would be stagnant, right? I wouldn't be able to move up, because you have to then rely on your front line to recruit. And there are some girls that try so hard and put in so much effort, but that's a weakness of theirs, or they're just not able to get it, but they deserve it. Like, God, they deserve it. And so looking to promote, right? So you've got your one lead leg. She needs one more girl that's qualified. You've got this new recruit that came in. She is like rearing to go. She's super, super, super excited. And you think that they would make a great team, okay? You have to think of, does it benefit everybody when it comes to strategic placement? It has to benefit everybody that's involved in the placement. So obviously it's going to benefit you as a leader, right? Because you're going to be, if everything kind of plays out, you're going to be able to move up. The person that you are placing under, it's going to help them, because it's going to get them to lead Beauty Guide. It's going to help them. They're going to be able to lead. What if they're a natural born leader, but they're just stuck? They can't get somebody. Yes, it's all about building another up level by level. Absolutely. Yes, Jess, nail on the head. You can do everything, but sometimes recruiting is just not a strong point for everybody, and that's okay. And it also has to benefit the person that you are placing. You have to think about that person, right? So, and this is where it's a huge blessing. So if I were to have 25 people on my front line, and I mean, there are people that have way more than 25 on my front line, like that, and that's totally doable, but I'm kind of trying to give an example. But so I have 25 people on my front line. It's hard for me to give everybody my undivided attention in essence, right? I want to make sure that they are being trained properly. I want to be able to make sure that they have somebody to reach out to if for some reason I'm not available. You know, I'm one person. You can only like stretch yourself so far. So a way that it helps me as a leader to strategically place is it gives them another mentor. It gives them somebody else to form a relationship with, to grow with, to learn from. And it does take some of the pressure off of the person that has initially recruited this person, because they have that person that they placed under to help them, right? So when it comes to strategically placing, you also have to make sure that you present it in a great way, because like I said before, you can really scare people when it comes to strategic placement. I have made that mistake. Like, guys, I am not perfect. When I first started doing this, I didn't know how do you make it sound good, right? Because someone just joined your team and then you're like, hey, you just joined my team, but I want to place you somewhere else on my team. And then they're like, wait a minute. I've just formed a relationship with you. I trust you. You are my leader. Why are you trying to get rid of me? Like, people have that thought process in their head. Why would somebody want to get rid of me? And so you have to explain it in a way that they are going to understand that this is a blessing for everybody. It is an absolute blessing for everybody involved. It helps, and so I'll come back to that here. But so this is kind of what I've been doing from day one. I have now started to put it in my recruiting process. So when I am talking to women about the opportunity, and if it's somebody that I can see is just going to be a rock star, like I can just tell, there's just some people you can just tell, like they're going to kill it. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they sign up and then they don't. That's okay too. But if you know without a doubt that, okay, I'm going to want to place this person, right? So I talk to them. Like, Limelight gives us an amazing opportunity to really kickstart your business. So I've got this really strong, great leg with an amazing leader on my team. And I would love to place you with her, to build a relationship with her, to learn from her. And it's going to help you too, because as we continue to grow that leg, then you would be eligible for strategic placement, right? Everyone on your team is eligible for strategic placement. But there are certain things that we as leaders look for when it comes to strategic placement. So you want to make sure that you have that nice conversation with them and you get them excited about it. Let them know, you guys, that just because I might be strategically placing you under somebody else on my team, that does not change our relationship. It does not change it. I am always going to be your enroller. I am always going to be that person that you can come to no matter what, right? Brooke and I was placed, right? I was placed, but Brooke and I still have an amazing relationship. She's still my go-to person for pretty much everything because that's what I've wanted. I mean, that's just how I roll. But it honestly, it doesn't change anything. And you have to really let people know that, because their first thought is that you are just trying to get rid of them. Like, you spent all this time trying to recruit them and trying to get them to sign up on your team, and then you just want to drop them. That can be how people perceive that, and you don't want that perception. You don't want that perception. So always let them know that it is a blessing. It is an absolute blessing to be placed, to have somebody placed underneath of you. It's beneficial for everybody. I used to, and you guys, I'm still learning. Like, every single day is a learning experience for me. You're going to make good placements. You're probably going to make bad placements. It's okay, right? Like, it happens. It's life. You don't know until you try. Yes, it's because you wanted me to grow. Like, you knew. And honestly, like, where I was placed and how my relationship with my sponsor, I have a great relationship with Jasmine on our team. She's a lead director on our team, who I was placed underneath. Her and I have a wonderful relationship. Brooke and I have a wonderful relationship. Jess and I have a wonderful relationship. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it worked out really, really well. But, oh goodness, I got sidetracked. Sorry, guys. Even with bad your enroller is there just the same. So that person is always going to be there for you. They're always going to be your enroller, okay? So if you're on the receiving end of a placement, right? So your leader comes to you and you're like, hey girl, I would love to place so-and-so on your team. This is making things so much clearer. Oh, good, Casey. I'm so glad. So let's say your leader approaches you and is like, hey girl, I have a new recruit that just signed up with us. I think you guys would be wonderful together. I would love for you to become her sponsor. Hi, Ashley. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean for you? Because the first thing you're going to think of is like your heart's going to start racing because you're like, oh my goodness, I have been trying to recruit forever. And now I have somebody, this is going to be great. But what do I do? What do I have to do? Like, what is my job as a sponsor now that somebody has been placed under me? Like, I'm now a leader, right? Your job, you guys, when you have somebody placed underneath of you, is to treat them as if you recruited them. Build a relationship with them. Help them. Lead them. Guide them. Be that first person that they come to ask questions. That's one thing I tell my girls. Okay, so I'm going to place you under Sally. Sally is going to be your mentor. She's going to be somebody that if for some reason I'm unavailable, and I usually talk about that within like the first couple months until they really start to form a good relationships, because a lot of times like you don't know that person that is being placed under you. The person being placed doesn't know who they're being placed under, and so it takes them a while to really form that relationship. Hi, Jasmine. Oh, I need to be on a treadmill, girl. But it takes a while. But your job as a sponsor now is to lead them, to help, to give them advice, to be there when they are struggling, to push them, to inspire them, just as if they would have signed up right underneath of you. You want to treat them that exact same way, okay? Now, here are some things I want to give you some tips, and you guys, every leader is going to be different. And so I'm going to tell you what I look for on my team when it comes to strategic placement. When I'm looking at somebody like that I would like to place under, right? Like I have leaders on my team that are wonderful, and I say I want to help them grow, or whatever the reason might be. I look for a couple things. I look for consistency. Do they work their business, right? I shouldn't say the biggest mistake, but a huge mistake that you can make is if you use strategic placement for a selfish reason, right? I'm just using it because I need to promote. The person I'm putting them under, like they don't do anything. They half the time they don't qualify, like they're not consistent. I wouldn't make that move, right? Because it's only it can hurt you essentially. My big thing is, you guys, you have to lead by example. I will never, ever, ever ask my team to do something that I do not do or I'm not willing to do. And so when I look at people or members of my team, hello, Ashley, that I am considering placing under, I have to look for, are they consistent? Do they work their business? Do they show up every day? And I don't mean like, guys, it's okay to take days off. Like, it is okay. But you are so welcome. Do they work their business? Are they helpful, right? If someone asks a question in the chat, are they there? Do they answer questions? Are they a bright light? Are they somebody that is a Debbie Downer? No, I'm not. You want to be careful with that, because you're thinking of, okay, so I have this new person that is literally fresh. What are they going to learn from, right? You need to be positive. You need to show up every day. You need to work your business. You need to be doing everything that you would ask your team underneath of you to do, right? Because how dumb does it look if you're a leader and you're asking them, I want you to go live. I want you to do this. I want you to be active in chats. I want you to do this. But you don't do any of that. Like, you don't do anything. So they're going to look at you and be like, why would I do that? You don't do it, right? Like, throw me some hearts if you've ever thought about that, about anybody. Like, don't ask me to do something if you're not willing to do it. Be active in chats, you guys. The chats are there for a reason, okay? The chats are there for a reason to help everybody. Be active in that. If your girls see that you are not active in a chat, why on earth would they want to be active? Why on earth would they want to do this if you're not willing to do that? So I look at people that are active in chats. I look at people that qualify. You gotta qualify every month, right? Sometimes there is going to be a month where you might just have a complete dud, and that's okay. Like, we know everyone has their ups and downs. That's okay. But that's a minimum requirement for me. You have to qualify every month. You really have to go above and beyond, and you have to over-qualify. But qualifying is an absolute minimum for me. But you have to be positive. You have to show up every single day. I don't know if I'm missing anything. And you have to be attempting to recruit. I also, personally, if I know that you're not doing anything to try to build your own team, I can't build it all for you. Your leader can't build it all for you. You have to be actively recruiting, actively trying. You have to earn it, essentially. Strategic placement is absolutely, definitely not something that you should ever expect. You should never, ever, ever expect strategic placement. That also goes with, don't ask for it. That's, for a lot of people, that's like an automatic, like, no. So It is an absolute gift, is an absolute blessing. And also when I talk, so I'll go back to kind of the steps that I take when it comes to strategic placement. So it has to be within the first 30 days, right? There is a blackout period. So from the midnight, I always say the 24th is the last day to do it, okay? Through the first of the month, you can't do any placements. So they all need to be placed before then, within the first 30 days of them signing up as a beauty guide, right? You want to have that conversation. I like to start it with the new beauty guide in training first and let them know, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Are you comfortable with it? What questions do you have about it? I present it to them in a very exciting way because it's super exciting. There's honestly nothing bad about strategic placement. I can't think of anything honestly bad about it. And I get their approval. If they're okay with it, then you can do a couple things. I know I was talking to a couple of leaders this morning, and one kind of gives them like, okay, so is there anybody on our team that you think you would mesh with right away, right? And if there's somebody that they've already connected with and you think that would be a good fit, then that's awesome, right? That's awesome. So I start with the beauty guiding training and get their approval, talk them through it, explain how it all works, let them know that it does not change anything with my relationship with them. I'm always still going to be there from like start to finish. I'm always going to be there. I'm not just like dropping you off and saying goodbye. Like, no, we don't do that. Yes, the biggest gift and blessing. Absolutely. And then I had that conversation with the person that I am thinking of placing that person under, right? And I explained to them, hey, I've got so-and-so. I think you guys would be absolutely beautiful together. Your personalities mesh really well. I think you guys are going to be able to really grow from each other. She has this to offer. You have this to offer. Together, you guys can be like completely unstoppable. But these are things that if I do it, this is what I expect from you, right? So if you're not already a leader, then coming into that leadership position, it's a lot of responsibility. It really is. It's a responsibility that I still struggle with, right? Like we're always looking to be a better leader every single day. We're always wanting to be better than what we are right now. But, I let them know, I expect you to work your business. I expect you to support that person. I expect you to, answer the questions that they might have. There's going to be questions that you don't know the answers to. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm here. But I also want you to lead by example, right? I want you to actively work your business. I want you to be following the daily success formula. I want you to be going live on your timeline. I want you to be a leader, to lead by example. And if you can do that, then I think you guys would be beautiful, right? So you've gotten both of their okay. You have given them a clear vision of how this works, okay? So the next thing I do is I create a group chat with those two people. And I introduce them. And I say, hey, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. You guys are going to be wonderful together. I'm super, super excited. Do either of you guys have any questions on how this works? They're both going to say no because I've already talked to them about it. They're going to say hi to each other, get to know each other. And then in your green room, to show you, this is like the best thing ever. You used to have to send an email to corporate and get them to do it. And everyone had to reply to it. And if one person didn't reply right or whatever, it could be a mess and it could take a long time. Hi, Ariane. Hi, Stacy. You are catching this live. This is not a replay. I keep looking at the darn comments. So in your green room, if you go to the little tab that says organization and you click the drop down, it will say waiting room. That is going to show you everybody on your team that is able to be placed at this time. Okay. You then click on them. It will bring up like a drop down, and then you type in who you're placing them under. You hit submit, and then it notifies those two people in their green room. The next time they sign in their green room, it's going to say, so-and-so, there's a placement request, whatever, you need to approve it. They hit accept, both hit accept, and boom, bam, it's done. So, like, it just doesn't change anything. I feel like a lot of people, you can make it a little bit more complicated. I mean, it can be complicated, but it's not. It's all about how you approach it. So just make sure that you are letting people know that it's a very positive thing. Get them excited about it and start talking about it to them before they sign up. That is like key. Let them know that there is this amazing opportunity that we have. Our compensation plan is incredible, including the fact that we can strategically place. Because without strategic placement, y'all, I would probably still be sitting at, I don't know, I might be at Star, maybe, because you rely on everybody else. Whereas if you are killing your business and recruiting like crazy, you should be able to be rewarded for that, essentially. And that's kind of how I look for it. If you earn it, like, you should be able to do it. So that is what I have for you guys on strategic placement. I'm sure I missed something. If you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to me, your sponsor, your leader, whoever. There's also a wonderful, wonderful video that really shows like the map that Jacob did in the Fempire. If you need the link to that, let your leader know or drop it in the comments here, and I can go ahead and try to tag you in that so that you guys can watch that as well. But I think that's all I got for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this training. It's super, super exciting. I love coming and talking to you guys. It's such an honor for me. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic, fantastic Monday. Let's kill the rest of this month, okay? Let's kill it. All right. Bye, guys.